אני chavatzelet, hasharon, shoshanat, Mary Magdalene is more than a historic figure to the Bloodline families. She is an important symbol of hope. She is the mother of the continuation of a pure bloodline that dates back to prehistoric times, when this bloodline first emerged as the first intelligent humans from the waters of the Tigris River. This bloodline mixed their genes with that of more primitive land apes to create modern humans. But some of the families kept their bloodline pure and never mixed with any out of their own species. This was a way to protect the original species of ancient humans from taking on the genes of those less evolved than them, and helped them to maintain their magic abilities, of genetic memories and so many other abilities that modern humans have forgotten how to use. Mary Magdalene and her family were persecuted for trying to help those seeking these teachings, and lies were spread about her. So here we will have a look at what was said about her in religious texts, and also what the bloodline families know about her. Mary Magdalene in the Bible. Canonical Gospels, New Testament. Mary Magdalene is mentioned in all 4 Gospels, but not extensively. Here's what the New Testament actually says. Luke 8, 2-3. She was a follower of Jesus, out of whom 7 demons had been cast. She supported Jesus' ministry financially, along with other women. All 4 Gospels say she was present at the crucifixion, the burial, the empty tomb, and she is the first witness to resurrection. John 20 gives her as the most prominent role. She speaks to the risen Christ and is commissioned by him to tell the disciples, a moment that earns her the later Christian title, Apostle to the Apostles. No biblical verse says that she was a prostitute. That association was made later, especially by Pope Gregory I in a 6th century sermon, who conflated Mary Magdalene with the unnamed sinful woman in Luke 7. Mary Magdalene in the Gnostic Gospels. The Gnostic Gospels are early texts, 2nd and 3rd century CE, found at Nag Hammadi in Egypt in 1945. These were not included in the Bible and present very different, often esoteric and mystical, views of Jesus and his followers. Mary Magdalene's role in the Gnostic texts. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Mary is portrayed as Jesus' most spiritually advanced disciple. After Jesus' ascension, Mary comforts the disciples and shares a vision Jesus gave her privately. Peter challenges her authority, but Levi defends her, saying Jesus loved her more than the others. He loved her more than us. Gospel of Mary, Fragment 10. The Gospel of Philip. Mary is described as Jesus' closer companion. The text says Jesus often kissed her on the mouth, though the passage is fragmentary and open to interpretation. Male disciples expressed jealousy about her favoured status. Pistis Sophia. Mary asks more questions than any other disciple, showing her deep understanding. Jesus praises her insight and spiritual clarity. Themes across Gnostic texts. Mary is shown as a symbol of gnosis, inner mystical knowledge. She challenges patriarchal structures and is sometimes in direct conflict with Peter. Jesus reveals special teachings to her that he does not share with the male disciples. Mary Magdalene in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947, Qumran, are Jewish religious texts dating from 250 BCE to 50 CE. They do not mention Mary Magdalene by name at all. However, they do show a divided Jewish world, sectarian, apocalyptic, and expecting a Messiah or two. Contain female absent theology, unlike the Gnostic texts, which give Mary a central role. So while the Dead Sea Scrolls don't contradict Mary Magdalene directly, they reflect a male-dominated religious context that the Gnostic texts seem to revolt against by elevating a female disciple. So in summary, the Bible versus Gnostic Gospels versus Dead Sea Scrolls. In the Bible New Testament, Mary's role is a witness to the crucifixion and resurrection, and she's portrayed as a faithful follower, first to see risen Jesus. Contrasts: no sign of rivalry or secret teachings. Gnostic Gospels, Mary Magdalene's role is Jesus' closest disciple, receiver of secret teachings. Portrayal: spiritually advanced, possibly romantic connection. And contrast: seen as superior to male disciples, source of tension. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls she isn't mentioned, and her portrayal obviously is not applicable. And it contrasts, reflects a religious world where women like Mary are invisible. Who she really was. Mary Magdalene is not just a historical figure. She has become a symbol of hidden truth, feminine wisdom, and spiritual independence. The canonical Gospels honour her as a key witness, but it's in the Gnostic texts where her voice and power truly rise, a challenge to the male-centred narratives of early Christian orthodoxy. However, all these documents fall short of telling the actual truth that the serpent bloodline families have passed down for generations in the underground stream of Gnosis. Mary Magdalene was not merely a follower or disciple of Jesus. She was in fact his lover, wife, and partner in the great rite that led him to illumination. She was the true teacher. She also became the mother of his children. Those 7 demons that Jesus supposedly cast out of her is actually referring to the 7 chakras that she helped to balance in Jesus so that he could perform the great rite with her. How easy it is for ancient texts to become corrupted and lead to so much confusion with the help of the Roman Catholic Church, who, although secretly in plain sight, worship the divine feminine through Mother Mary, as they dress in the robes of the goddess, and yet suppress women at all levels, claiming women can't be spiritual leaders. Do you really think that they want you to know the truth about Mary Magdalene and her important role in bringing illumination? Of course not. They want to keep this sacred knowledge from you, so that you go to them for guidance, and you pay into their dogmatic, hate-filled religion, or some other nasty patriarchal religion that also denies women. Famous churches and sites dedicated to Mary Magdalene. There are churches dedicated to Mary Magdalene all over the world, and a vast concentration of them are in Europe. Many of these churches hold clues to the journeys of the Bloodline and the real Gnostic Templars, whose true spiritual practices had to remain hidden, and so their way was to set up churches dedicated to Mary Magdalene and her secret teachings. A place the Bloodline families could go to perform their own secret ceremonies without ever raising suspicion, hidden under the guise of Christianity. Here are details about a few notable churches and sites. France, Les Saintes-Brumes, Provence. A cave in southern France where legend says Mary Magdalene lived as a hermit after fleeing persecution. It's a major pilgrimage site. Basilica of Saint Mary Magdalene in Saint Maximim le Saint-Abloum, built in the 13th century, claims to house her relics, including what is believed to be her skull. But as I have explained in another video, the skull actually belongs to her friend, who stayed in France as a decoy when the Bloodline family fled to the British Isles. It is popular with pilgrims and associated with medieval traditions that place her in southern France after the resurrection. Portugal. Church of Saint Mary Magdalene, Porto Moniz, Madeira. One of the oldest churches on Madeira Island. Houses a statue of Mary Magdalene with perfume bottles. July the 22nd feast day is still celebrated. Capella de Santa Maria Maddalena, Calvario, Ferreira do Argenteiro. Unique circular chapel from the 17th century. Symbolic architecture representing repentance and Calvary. Interior features statues of Christ and Magdalene. Spain. Iglesia de Santa Maria Magdalena, Córdoba. One of the Fernandine churches built by King Ferdinand III in the 13th century. Combines Romanesque and early Gothic with Islamic elements. Iglesia de Santa Maria Magdalena, Tarazona. 12th century Gothic Mudea church with Romanesque roots. Beautiful rose window with bell tower. Italy. Chiesa de Santa Maria Magdalena, Atrani, Amalfi Coast. Perched on the cliff with stunning sea views. Founded in the 13th century by townspeople grateful for deliverance from Saracen pirates. Hosts a colourful festival on the 22nd of July with fireworks and boat processions. Israel. Mount of Olives, Jerusalem. A striking Russian Orthodox church built in 1888 by Tsar Alexander III, known for its golden onion domes and beautiful iconography. Located near the Garden of Gethsemane, symbolic as Mary was one of the few who remained near Jesus during the Passion. The church is also the burial site of Princess Alice of Battenberg, mother of Prince Philip. Great Britain. St Mary Magdalene Church, Paddington, London. A grand Anglo-Catholic church known for its Gothic revival architecture, rich in art and decoration, with stained glass and religious murals honouring Mary Magdalene. Russia. Russian Orthodoxy churches. Russian Orthodoxy venerates her as an equal to the apostles. Many Russian churches bear her name, often marked with traditional Orthodox icons of her, bearing a red egg, a symbol of resurrection and a popular Eastern legend. However, those who have read the Mary Magdalene Rite book will know what this symbology really means. India. St Mary Magdalene Church, Thalassery, India. Built by European missionaries and named for Mary Magdalene. Serves the local Catholic community with deep Marian devotion. The sacred teachings of illumination were never lost. They were safeguarded, hidden beneath many protective veils to shield them from persecution. Through secret rites and oral transmission, this ancient wisdom was preserved within a sacred bloodline. Among the most revered of these hidden rites is the Magdalene Rite, a ceremony long kept in secrecy, now made accessible to you. This powerful ritual serves as a gateway to connect with the essence of Mary Magdalene, awakening ancestral memory and offering profound insights to guide you on your path towards illumination. You can get your copy at purplepeacockpublications.info. That's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be making more videos. That's all for now. Bye!